With the possible exception of Paulo Semogedere, who was leader of opposition from 1980 to 1985, Winnie Kiiza has had the toughest tenure, leading the minority in Uganda's legislature. New Vision TV looks at all the leaders of opposition who came before her in Uganda's parliament. The first general elections for Uganda's parliament was held in 1961 and won by Benedict Chiwanuka's DP, which formed government in March 1962. The first leader of opposition became Apollo Milton Obote of the UPC. Obote turned the tables quickly after an alliance with Kabaka's party that denied all voters in Buganda direct suffrage to elect their MPs. Obote became Prime Minister in October 1962 and DP Secretary General Bezo Bataringaya from Akole became Uganda's second leader of opposition. In 1964, Bataringaya defected to the UPC and DP replaced him with Alex Latiem from Acholi as the party's Secretary General and third leader of opposition. In 1969, Obote banned all political parties except his own, so the UPC became a single party without opposition. When Idi Amin overthrew Obote in 1971, there was to be no parliament until his own overthrow in 1979. The post-Amin governments led by Professor Yusuf Lule, Godfrey Binaisa and Paulo Mwanga were broad-based coalitions and had no opposition. After the disputed December 1980 elections, Paulo Semogedere, who was widely believed to have won, became leader of opposition. He endured 5 years of harassment of the opposition, murder of his MPs by the government army, and killings of hundreds of citizens in the Luwero Triangle, where civil war was raging. The president and the finance minister, Milton Obote, kept ridiculing and mocking Semogedere through the 5 years, but Semogedere stood firm in denouncing the excessness of government soldiers. When Obote was overthrown for the second and last time in July 1985, the Okelos juntas that took over did not have an opposition. In January 1986, the National Resistance Army took over and ran a broad-based government with no official position in the National Resistance Council, chaired by Alhaji Moses Chigongo. After 1995, the 6th Parliament, chaired by James Wapahablo, did not have opposition because Uganda was still under the movement form of government. The 2006 elections were held on party basis following the restoration of parties in a 2005 referendum. The country got its 5th leader of opposition in the 8th Parliament in Professor Ogenga Latigo, who was appointed by then FDC President Dr. Kiiza Besigye. After the 2011 elections, the FDC leader appointed Nathan Nandala Mafabi as Uganda's 6th leader of opposition in the 9th Parliament. However, Besigye stood down as FDC chief in the bitter election that ensued. Major General Mugisha Muntu defeated Nandala Mafabi and replaced Besigye. Muntu appointed veteran journalist Wafula Ogutu as leader of opposition. The 9th Parliament thus had 2 leaders of opposition. Wafula Ogutu did not make it to the 10th Parliament in 2016, and FDC boss Mugisha Muntu appointed Winnie Kiiza from Kasese as leader of opposition. Kiiza's appointment was well-deserved as her mobilization was partly responsible for the routing of the ruling NRM party in Kasese, where all seats went to FDC. NRM strongman and Defense Minister Dr. Crispus Chiyonga was one of the casualties. Winnie Kiiza got down to work, and it has been tough all the way. The worst and darkest time of her leadership was in September 2017, during the debate to remove the age limit for presidency from the constitution. Security forces stormed Parliament and beat up the opposition MPs, some of whom are still undergoing treatment in specialized hospitals at home and abroad from the injuries sustained in the parliamentary beating. Arguably one of the greatest leaders of opposition in Uganda's history, Winnie has lost office after a short 2 years, as FDC leader Patrick Oboy Amuriat has chosen to drop her. Will her successor, Betty Awol Achan, measure up to the task?